we got everybody here. I call this meeting of the East Newton Narcissus School District to order. And first thing we're going to do is some recognitions. You've got one of those?
Miss Stouffer, Savannah Stouffer, come on up.
Oh, yes.
Come
Hey,
on
Savannah.
down.
I didn't even realize it was you, sorry.
Savannah has, works at Granby Telephone Company, and she's an alum.
Yes.
And she has spearheaded, I think she created all by herself, the Doing Good Project, which is a way to help our teachers and help our staff with, school supplies and different things they need. You can explain a little bit better than me. Go ahead. Real
Okay.
quick. I'll put you on the spot.
Okay, no, that's fine. I figured I was prepared just in case. Basically, the project is twofold, and yes, he's right. I am a one-woman show, but it's great. I wouldn't have it any other way. It's very fulfilling. But every month I sponsor a school in either this district or the District of Diamond, because GTC does cover both areas. So wanted to make sure we didn't leave anybody out. So I sponsor every single teacher in the school that I sponsor, and they get a list, and they can choose all these different school supplies that they need, and even if something that they need isn't on the list, they can write it to me. I've gotten things like floor lamps and electric pencil sharpeners and all kinds of things for teachers. It's really what they need, so whatever they'll benefit from. And I go and pick up the list, I buy everything, I package it up and deliver it to them in their classrooms. And it's also been great to see the students' reactions to it too, because it shows somebody that's giving back to the community, and it's in a cool way, and it makes them, curious, like, what are they doing? I want to help, like, I want to do something. And so it's really been great in a lot of aspects. And the other fold of it is the scholarship, and so that will be 2 $500 scholarships for graduating seniors in both districts, so that'll be a total of 4 scholarships. And it is composed of an essay and an application, and the essay really focuses on the importance of small towns in America. So much, I think people are just wanting to move out of their hometown and go on to something bigger and better, but I'm hoping by them maybe stopping and thinking, and maybe somebody just asking them the question like, hey, why don't you do a little research and think about the importance of small towns and rural America and stuff like that, and maybe inspire them to stick around in their hometown, think of a small business that they can start, a way they can contribute back to their small town community. So that is the Doing Good Project.
Fantastic. Yeah, great.
So after I make her do it herself, we want to give you a Patriot Pride and
Oh, thank you.
Patriot Pride Award for thanking you for doing what you're doing for the school district.
Thank you.
You will get to retweet it.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. We are now ready for Mr. Nelson. I thought I saw him come in.
Back here.
Okay. All of them?
Yeah, there's a big group of them.
Good.
Yeah, they don't Yeah.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Here is some of our FFA kids, and they're going to kind of give you a little presentation of some of the things that we do within our FFA program, and they're going to talk about their SAEs and some of the projects that they might do or throughout the year. So we're going ahead and get started. Well, I'm sorry, I went too fast.
So I'll go ahead and start. So this is our East Newton FFA chapter. I'm Savannah Taylor. I'm a senior. I'm a chapter president. I am also the area sentinel. So I'm going to go ahead and give a quick recap of last year's state convention. So we had 2 kids. It was Wyatt Nelson and Albert Garnett who received proficiencies at the area level. Wyatt Nelson actually received his Star Farmer degree and went on to compete with that at the state level. We had a team, it was called Ag Issues, and they also went to the state. And then we had 4 kids who received their state degrees.
I'm Colton Leach. I'm a junior here at East Newton. I play baseball and football. My SAE is rodeo, and I also show beef cattle. I'm going to talk about the family farm night this year. It was our best year yet. We had a huge success with a lot of kids coming out to enjoy the animals and the bounce houses that we had set up.
Hi, my name is Lane Baker. I'm a freshman. I play baseball. I help on our family farm. We have 2 turkey houses, beef cows. I help take care of the turkey houses and the beef cows. I help maintenance tractors and plan to be on a contest team.
My name is Braden Daniel. I am a freshman here at East Newton. I play basketball and run track. I help my parents on a beef farm and plan to be on a contest team.
In the top left picture, we got sit on an articulating dump truck and got to run the bed up and down and side to side, and it's fun. There was 10 stations we got to go through that day, and that was pretty fun. Each one was pretty interesting. So,
One of the 10 stations was power line safety, which is shown in the right bottom corner, which we got to watch a video on to educate us on the safety power lines. And then one of the most fun and exciting parts of UMC Field Day was getting to stick our hand inside of the cap.
And it's done.
It is a good time.
This year we went to, my name is Alexa Harris-Schmidt. I'm a freshman and I'm involved in softball, FCCLA, and basketball. We went to Indianapolis, Indiana for the FFA National Convention this year. Spencer received the highest honor you can receive as an FFA member, the American FFA degree.
Hi, my name is Haley Jordan. I'm a freshman here at East Newton. I participated in softball and I am also in DECA. And here in these pictures with me is Cassidy Highlight, and we went to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. In the bottom left corner, we had all kissed the tracks because once you win the race, then the winners kiss the tracks.
My name is Barrett Berkey. I'm a freshman here, and I play football and baseball. Here we went to a stud bore semen cellar. In the bottom left corner is the lab where they package all of the semen and they ship it off. The top right is the light show at the convention. The top left is one of their top stud bores that sells for $350 a dose. The bottom right is one of their mid bores. And he sells for about $150 a dose.
Hi, my name's Noah Bashirs. I am a sophomore here at East Newton. I play football and baseball. My SAE is I haul hay over the summer. We haul anywhere from 200 bales to 1,000 bales a night. Here's our parents' night, and this is where we gather around as a FFA family and get honored to our Ag 1 and Ag 2 recipients of the chapter degree and the green hand. We had about 52 green hand recipients and 19 chapter degree recipients.
Hello, my name is Cheyenne Flores. This is my second year. My first year I was in the horse jumping contest team, and this year I will be in the poultry jumping contest team. I am one of the people to do the tours for the pigs in the ag farm, and hopefully I will be able to show the pigs. Here is our Veterans Day assembly. We got the privilege to walk and to feed them and learn a little bit about their stories. 2 or 3 of the groups that make quilts all year round gave to the veterans.
Hello, my name is Gavin Payne. This is my first year in ag. I am a sophomore. I'm also involved in cross country, band, service club, and track. As you can see on the board, we went to an event called the PBR, which is where we got to see professional bull riders around the world demonstrate their skills and talents in bull riding.
Hi, my name is Quincy Nelson. My SAEs are showing lambs, showing goats, and also showing Santa Gertrudis cows and rodeo. I also showed Southdown lambs this year, and my ewe was grand champion overall at my county fair and state fair. And in the spring, FFA week and contest teams will start up.
Hi, my name is Vanessa Enslow. This is my second year in FFA, my first year as on the poultry team and the Ag Issues team, and I plan to go back onto the poultry team this year as well. For my SAE, I raised 4 goats. I had the great privilege of being able to represent the East Newton FFA chapter as the Newton County Fair Princess this year, which is the top left. Right picture. Had to think about that for a second. So I show at our local Newton County Fair. I also show at Ozark Empire Fair in Springfield, and I show at our state fair. And this year I will have the privilege of being able to go to our national organization show. My highest award that I've received with my animals at our county fair was this last year. I received Grand Champion overall percentage show and Reserve Grand Champion overall though.
Hello, my name is Bailey Collins. I am the Vice President and I also do track. I'm a pole vaulter. My SAE is small animal production with working with a lady that breeds boxers down the road. And me and Savannah, we went to state 2 years on CDEs, and then last year Vanessa also joined us with our LDE team in Quincy too. It was a quick year, so it was one of those years. But I would like to thank all of you guys for having us here tonight. It means a lot to us because without your guys' support, we wouldn't be able to do what we do, go to the contests we have, the trips, have our small animal facility, and any of that without your guys'. And we just want to thank you again for all your support and having us tonight. So, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. Do you guys have any questions? As you can tell, our chapter is growing and we have a lot of good kids in it, and a lot of kids can't come tonight, of course, but we would be extremely full. But it makes Mr. Loveday's and my job a lot easier when we have good quality kids like this showing up and working and enjoying the job.
You did good official dress, guys.
Thank you.
Look sharp.
Thank you guys. You guys have a good holiday.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. It's the same picture. I'm doing good. I didn't recognize you guys because you were talking. Y'all rolling in.
Thanks, sir. This, you have this routine chair? Oh, yeah. Move right along. How about we go to approve, no, we're going to amend the agenda tonight. Please. And would you like to tell us how we're going to amend the agenda?
I need to add the substitute teacher list to the consent agenda before approval, and you have those copies in your places. I added 3 subs after the packets went out.
Great.
I make a motion to amend it.
Thank you. And is there a second? And it has been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Motion passes a 7-0. Ready? Public comments?
None.
None. Approval of the consent agenda, amended consent agenda, by the way. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve the
Second.
agenda.
Second. It has been properly moved and seconded that we approve the amended consent agenda. I'll get it out in a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you, 7-0. Let's go to some program evaluations. Yes? Yes, what?
Hang on for a second, Rusty.
Sure.
The fall athletic report, did anybody have any questions? Mr. Branscome's here. Was everything good that we sent you?
As good as far as I was concerned. Is there something we need to be looking for? I mean, was there something you wanted to?
Nope.
Okay.
I just
I
wanted
think
to
you
make
would
sure.
be very happy if you said,
I just want to make sure you didn't have any questions.
No, it was all good. I just didn't know if there was something you wanted to bring up.
Yep.
So kind of the overall, did we come out on top or was that?
We were 1,200
You had
Yeah.
you had
in the whole.
Oh, was that, I remember.
1,218.
That first one,
Very first one.
right there. Is that it?
This one, no.
Okay.
That's softball.
It's the very
A
last.
little over $1,200.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought was softball.
Yeah.
So,
And
well, at least it
we'll
wasn't
have
a
to talk
whole.
about that sometime, because I think
It was in the.
It
we can
Oh,
look
that
at
was
the dollars,
yeah.
that look different.
12,
Should have been your very first page.
12, 18, 65. Oh, yeah, I know.
And that
Okay.
comes down to
Yeah, it's there.
cross country, volleyball,
Softball.
softball as well.
Yeah.
'Cause we don't charge.
We don't have anything on
Yeah,
softball.
yeah.
There's no
But
gate,
again,
there's
guys,
no
we're
gate.
no better. I mean.
Yeah, it's great.
That's
Oh,
not.
That's nothing to complain about.
Nothing.
There's no gate from it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why.
And
That's not one. No other store for years.
No, we're not doing anything, nope, we're not doing anything out of line.
I think you're doing a great job on that end.
Volleyball.
Okay,
Thank you.
just wanted you to know.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate that.
Sometimes you don't hear it,
Oh,
so.
my goodness. Is that
Thank
just
you.
this year? Appreciate you being visible at so many of the
Yeah.
activities too.
Well, enjoy it.
Makes a difference.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Rusty, are you up?
You're up, man.
First one's maintenance
Okay,
and buildings. Any questions? I know you have those.
yeah, just a few. They're not necessarily directed at you, I don't think.
just getting ready to teach us. Well, on the 9 roof.
That's better, there's better than me holding this one like this.
No, he's preaching to it.
Preaching.
You are.
All right.
Good luck to
He
you.
has a
Yes,
question.
ma'am.
Where you had the 9 roofs that need to be restored or replaced, where are those at?
Where they at?
Uh-huh.
Granby will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then Tri will have a few of them in the ag buildings on that here at the high school.
But I mean, like, what locations of the, do you know of the?
The Granby will be the Tri-Way. It's gonna be the main office, that front location.
Okay,
That's one of them, and there's one right next to it that's a short roof. Then at Granby, it's it would be the, what I would call the main building, where the principal's office is, that's one section, cafeteria is another section. Where the 6th grades, 2nd grade, that building's another one.
okay.
And the old library,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right now computer labs.
None of them are
Oh,
leaking.
yeah.
No, at time to time, you'll get something come down the walls or something.
The ag building's not leaking, is it currently?
No,
There's a
not that I'm
question,
aware of.
not me either, that's why I wondered if maybe you knew something I didn't. Down on the HVAC replacement schedule,
Mhm.
I know we're monitoring that.
Yeah,
What do we have, what are we looking at for this year?
for this year, nothing.
Okay. And,
There's a grant that comes out every so often, and I know we were in that in 2010. We replaced about 16 of them. Of course, we replaced 48 of them in 2016.
right,
So,
I just didn't know if we needed, if there was something,
no,
I'm not looking for some ways to spend money, but if
No.
there's something we need to get on a rotation or
No.
something.
it's one of those things. They're working right now. Of course, you don't want them to go down, but they're working. Knock on wood.
All right.
Because they're expensive to replace.
They are expensive to replace.
And, the new freezer unit, no, the new cooler, it's just a cooler.
Cooler, yeah. We haven't. We're waiting to do that until we'll probably start in April.
Okay, just didn't know.
One thing that come to my attention this week to add to the concern, Mr. Coach Branscombe was talking about doing some arrangements on the mezzanine with the weight equipment, wanting to set it up in a different way. Well, there are platforms that you use for that, and we want to build some. Well, I want to see what kind of platform we want to do. If we needed platforms, or if we needed just the mats. So I had them for the sound barrier, because that's right over the cafeteria.
Yeah.
Had them do their little workout there. Well, I was underneath there, and Scott let me know that this has been going on like for a while, I guess. But it shakes real bad, so I was pretty nervous about it. So I've called Anderson Engineering to come look at it. Because, yes, I mean, it shakes bad. So it's just, to me, it's something that needs to be looked at. So,
Scott, that's not anything new, is it?
No, and Rusty did a very thorough test, I might add. But I mean, it's mostly when the boys are deadlifting.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll pick it up, and when they're
they drop
maxing, I mean, they'll drop it. It's not like they're dropping it from,
No.
Right.
feet, but when you have some weight on there, it'll sound like the apocalypse is coming.
yeah.
Well, and part of it is to just make sure there's no structural.
Especially over the years of it,
I know.
over it, doing it over repetitively.
Right.
So, yeah, we've been a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're supposed to come next week to look at that. Anything else on maintenance?
Opportunity on safe rooms, is there any coming up?
No, not that I'm aware of. And then we had an opportunity, I think 3 or 4 years ago, we didn't have the funding.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
Right
where
now.
we'll be now. The opportunity might be there, but if you build safer and we want to put something in it,
Right.
and not just build a big shell.
Right.
So that would be the challenge for us, financially, to be able to actually do it upright and make it something that we could actually utilize beyond, and it'd be utilized for bad weather, but beyond that.
I had a question. What mobile unit is it at Highway? Where is her mobile unit?
It's right there by the gym. LL
Oh,
is
that's
used.
right. I've seen it so
It's
long.
ours, it's the only one, I mean,
Yeah, okay.
the only one, there was two
And what-
left.
And what's it used for?
Great question.
Is Mrs. Hanson in there?
I don't, it's a good question. I really don't, I know we got classes. in
Actually,
there.
I know she is. She's,
Okay.
she's still in there, and I don't know what else, so.
Yeah, there's two rooms.
Okay. I didn't even, I'd forgotten. I mean, I see it all the time.
Okay, let's go just a couple of things. The lagoon, we're in compliance, all is good, no
Yeah.
problems.
I mean, the EPA come to us, I guess another, L. Terry's probably on the board, told us that we was gonna need to do something. Well, we hired, I don't remember the King Coltrane, I can't remember the engineer for out of Springfield. They came and came up with a plan, presented it to EPA. We don't like that, we wanna rethink it, and that's been 2009, 2010. So, no news is good
No,
news.
we're not gonna poke the bear.
We don't,
on
yeah,
that one.
we don't wanna poke the bear.
Anything on electricity in the high school, additional outlets, additional anything?
No. I mean, as far as I know, everything's working fine. It's just one of those things, you
Yeah,
can't
no
just plug
extra.
anything in
No.
there, yeah. Yeah.
Plugging it in the right way
Right.
and make sure,
Right.
I know. Okay,
Good job, thank you.
You're welcome.
thank you.
Next.
Now move on to safety.
Safety.
And Mr. McDermott will do safety.
Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
And I don't know that this is, I kind of looked at it and I didn't see it particularly on here, but I just had a parent concerned or a patron concerned about Granby and the bus loading and unloading.
Oh, yeah.
and
I've heard
the-
that same
It's the
thing.
Over
parents,
on
it's
the-
not
the bus loading, it's where
the
the parent
parents,
pickup
but
is.
parent pickup
Parent
is.
pickup.
And I think, honestly, if you go over there and look at it and make some changes, that would appease people, but
What kind of changes
Well,
we,
there was, this year and last year, Jeff did an amazing job. And Jari is out there almost every day this year. There has been a few days he hasn't been. So having a presence out there has been a huge difference. And our police has been out there. At least once a week they've been out there pretty much.
I went during my Thanksgiving break, I had the whole week off, and there wasn't anybody out there, then it's just like a free-for-all, and it
So
has,
just
you
making
know,
sure that
Yeah,
supervision's out there.
They don't, there's really not an order to it,
there isn't.
and that's what people.
Kids
get
are running to the
kids
parking
and
lot. That's something I can
I've
mention to
seen it too.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I know.
someone needs to be out there
but
correcting.
We used to,
we should
have,
start
allow
Yeah, the cars go
allow
beside each other.
6 cars. We had 2 rows, but 6 cars could go, do you remember?
Oh, I
And
remember
then
what,
we,
Do
and
they
then
go,
we.
do they allow those at the same time the buses go?
The buses are in the back,
Buses are
they're not in the
so-
same
It's-
location.
it's-
But I think if there was
Well, I
just
think
some
what
type
we
of order,
just need to do is
Rusty,
if
that
they
would
can-
help.
But a lot of that has to do with just common sense
I think so.
of
It's usually
people
in
driving
the-
up there, because
But-
I drop my kids off there.
Hey,
Yeah, well, I think it's the
Every day.
pickup more than it is the
Safely.
drop off.
Oh, sorry,
But-
'cause I
Yeah,
drop,
the pickup is crazy, yeah.
But
I've
now,
never picked them up there, so I
you
don't
know,
know
it's
about
like that
that.
thing that happened at Neosho, that was kind of a freak
Oh,
accident,
my
but we
goodness.
wouldn't want something
No,
like that, and
no.
especially if someone's brought it to our concern, but I just think we should
The only
look
thing I
at
might
it.
ask them to do, but that's not so
It's
they're not.
just a presence like
Manny
we
knows
talked
about
about.
the
You know,
Supervision.
I really think
Manny
it's
went to
organized
tell
chaos at
pickup
best.
situations.
Oh, I got you.
It's okay.
I think if you look into
I
it.
saw them the other day.
Yeah, I'm the one that got nailed in the pickup line, so I have the
That's
biggest
right.
wreck of all.
Yeah.
Because kids don't use their head when they're,
No, and some
They say
parents
parent
don't,
is-
they're in a hurry.
Well, and the
Yeah.
kids will run across the
And they're
street to
on
go
phones
to the parking
sometimes.
lot, cause their
Yeah.
parents in the parking lot, and there's cars coming on, one car's on this side, this car will go around it, and like, then there's the kid running between them, and, yeah, it's kinda crazy.
I got one more thing.
Yes, sir.
This is the last one on here. Radio communication, dead spots, interference, bus routes.
Well,
Anything new?
yeah. That same company we talked with and installed that cable from the repeater to the antenna. Me and Jason got prices to go to a digital system. What we have now is analog. Of course, digital is, of course, the next step up, and it will, he says, he can't guarantee it solve it. We may be in Possum Hall or down in that creek bottom, and it may go over the top of it, but he said it's gonna make it a lot better. So what I'm looking at doing is, this next year in our capital budget is, it'll be a 2-part system. You can buy the radios that are digital and the handhelds and use our analog repeater And then the next year, go with buying the digital repeaters for the bus barn here, and then adding one at Triway. This Triway doesn't have a repeater right now.
Deputy Rico have his,
They need
is
that.
that
He has
helpful now?
he has his Newton County.
Okay, yeah.
So
because
if
you
we
said-
need to get a hold of him, we
Yes,
just call Newton
okay.
County.
Or someone down there if he was down there.
Right.
You had the
But
ability,
yeah.
okay. Because
You
I
had a
remember
hard
you
time.
saying something about that.
Now, cost on that, any ideas?
40,000.
Oh,
That's why it'll be a breakup of 20 and 20 is what my plan is.
Is there any future hope of getting, the Wi-Fi opened up at Triway?
You're talking to the wrong person.
Okay, all right. Well, it's totally, because, I mean, I teach at Rocky, which is in the middle of nowhere, right past
Yeah.
Triway. And we can make phone calls because we have Wi-Fi.
Oh,
If
with
you-
your Wi-Fi
if you
down.
have,
I know it,
Oh, you mean like on your
Because it's a
data plan?
wireless,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, it's
On
Wi-Fi calling.
iPhone.
Wi-Fi calling, yeah, I can get,
I know it'd be a security issue. I can tell you, I mean, that's what we always,
I know that.
that's every
right?
school district's
But every school
security
system, most
issue.
of them have it open, so
Well, school teachers,
the teachers don't have it either.
well, they should, I could,
Amen.
I could see not leaving it open, but the teachers should.
Yeah, the teachers don't get it
Or
either.
designated.
For their
people,
phones?
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for their phones, yeah.
I know at Triway, you can go to the main office and there is
Just
that
throw 'em out the
booster
window.
that they can use, and I'll promise you, it's not the best, but
it's by the window.
yeah. Or yeah, you can get by the window and have pretty good reception. You can get down the cafeteria and the double doors there on the south side and have pretty good.
I haven't tried that one.
Crick your neck.
You can get up by the road and stand in the spot.
Yeah,
Stand on
we
the
can do that
road.
one too.
Should we just put up signs?
Yeah.
Cell phone reception?
Cell phone reception
I guess
here.
we could
So
do
you know
that.
this by
Possible
experience.
cell phone.
Hey, what else you got, Rusty?
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Signs would be that cheap.
Okay.
Wi-Fi's.
It should be open, yeah.
The
I think the
teachers.
teachers, yeah, they don't.
Thank you, Andy. Give me a second.
I'll say.
He's gone.
And it has been moved and seconded that we approve the program evaluations. All in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you, 7-0. Now, Superintendent Report.
You betcha. Enrollment report, we're currently, as of, I can't say currently, it might have changed yesterday, but as of Monday, our enrollment's about 1318. Last year at this time, it was 1312, so we're, the way I do that is I look at our current one, then I go to the exact same day last year and just compare it. So, last year we were at 1318, or 1312, this year we're 1318. And actually, attendance is up. Last year we were at 93.7, we're at 94.2 for November this. So
Except
our
that,
November was up.
when you go back to August and you see the 1326,
Mhm.
was that, after the drops and that type of thing? I mean,
Yes.
So we're
Yes.
not, it's not like we're carrying extra students there.
No,
Okay.
that was,
So
the year
about
before we,
10.
the year before we had 1,360 some, but that was before the drops. So this year I did that, I did it afterwards to make sure we didn't look like we were inflated.
What happened, we lost
October, November.
the difference between October and November?
They all moved right to Kemper.
Yeah.
Did they all moved?
Yeah, they're probably all related.
It's high school.
We've got a ton.
If you look at it, it's high
Yep.
school. We lost 11 in high school. Actually gained, or actually, and lost 1 at Granby.
And Triway stayed the same.
High school
Yeah.
kids.
Okay, no, attendance last year at this time was how much?
Was 93.7, well, that was for November. 93.7 overall for November, and I didn't get it. It's cantankerous sometimes. I put it in there and it doesn't work exactly right, so I didn't get the overall from last year, but overall at 95 this year.
So you're saying that's not an operating error?
It could be operator
okay.
error. I'm not saying that, I'm just saying.
I couldn't resist, sorry.
So overall, we are, overall, we are staying steady, which is a good thing.
Yep.
That's a good thing. We are not reducing, we're not falling down, and we're staying steady. Typically, we always get a boost in January. Typically, we'll get a boost in January and go back up a little bit. We lose some, it's just the way this, it's not just us, it's most school districts. You have kids, families moving in November and December, and then they move into a new district in January, so we always get a little bit of a bump in January.
Attendance wise, we're on track, we're in good shape.
We're ahead of where we were last year.
Didn't we have a flu?
We
Yeah.
did.
Flu last year?
We did, last year was
As he says with
February.
our horse board.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
February was a rough month for us last year.
Right, you sound sick.
Cash flow, I think you have this on your, a copy of you, but I also we put it up here.
End of the table?
And this is harder to look at, but the big thing about it is the one thing I would have you look at is Fund 4. It shows this as $81,000 in the red, when reality is we get to decide where we put money as our revenue comes in, and we've been putting it in Fund 1, just not putting it in Fund 4. The next 2 months we'll take some of our revenue and put it, as it arrives, we'll put it in Fund 4 to get rid of that deficit. So that's not, it's just the way we've been putting it, where we've been depositing it, it's not anything else. So, or where we've been, it's all deposited into the same place, it's just categorized in different places. And at any given moment, we could transfer all that out of here, out of our general fund, into our Fund 4. There's no penalty or anything like that, but this year we started with more in Fund 1, so in the next 2 months, Karen Marty is gonna deposit, and we deposited 21, so next month will be 40, and the month after that will be about 40, and that should get us back to.
Because you can't transfer from 4 to 1.
You cannot, so that's why, thank you, sir, that's why we're not putting it in Fund 4, because once you put it in Fund 4, it's there. And every year you probably don't know this and haven't explained, but we will deficit spend out of Fund 2 as well, and then have to transfer money from Fund 1 to Fund 2, because any excess money you have in Fund 2 goes back to the state. So we will not have any excess money in Fund 2. So if we look at revenue and expenditure totals, this is a good thing. Our expenditures for the year, $4.3 million. Our revenues for the year, $4.299. We are currently operating at a $5,000 or just under $6,000 deficit. Last year this time we were operating at a $377,000 deficit. So those changes we made have placed us in a pretty good position financially.
I like it.
We need to encourage that. We need to make sure we need to somehow get this out so people know it.
I'll
I don't know how to do
sing it
that.
from the rooftops.
You know,
We
but
have a
we
board
are-
report that we put out.
What?
A board report, a lot of districts do a board report after the board meeting, so the public can.
Isn't it on our website?
Yeah.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
This is just another example, actually, it's just a more graphic example of it, so you can see where, compared to last year, again, $4.3 million in spending, and actually, I did this on, last Friday I created this, and then I updated this, or no, last Wednesday, and then I updated this Thursday, so there's actually a $8,000 difference between here and here. So there's actually more revenue on the other one, so if you notice that discrepancy, those numbers don't match, because I did it on 2 different days. We got an $8,000 deposit, and I didn't want to go back and totally redo it.
What's on the website? Is this on the website, or is just the figures on the website?
Just the figures on the website. Labor cost, if you look at last year at this time, combined, we were at 2.93 million. This year we're at 2.7 million. So we are currently our savings through November of from November of last year is $227,000 in labor costs. Other cost centers, some of this is misleading because we capped capital outlay at $150,000, so it looks like we've spent 16.5% more here, when the reality is this number ended at $150,000 last year, and this number is going to end at $150,000. So at the end of the year, it'll be the same. So that's not, I put that up there just so you know where we are, but it's it won't go over 150. We capped that out. Transportation supplies up a little bit, and labor's down a little bit, and fuel's up a little bit, but nothing extraordinary.
All those is within.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Utilities report. Last year to date, we'd spent $140,000 on utilities. This year to date, we spent $141,000. So we're right on line where we should be. A little bit more.
Solar panels?
Up and running. Yep.
Okay.
Remember, any savings money we get from the solar panels turns around and goes to paying them off.
No, I know that. I just want to make sure there was no issues.
Yeah.
No issues.
So utilities, we're right where we should be. It's right on schedule.
Okay.
And that's my report.
Okay. How about an operations report?
Pretty short. We had Missouri School Board Association, the Center of Education Safety came down Monday and trained our principals, a few teachers and counselors, behavior assessment training. So what that entails, if you get a report that there's been a threat of violence or someone suspects something, those people in that building can now have some procedures to take to kind of investigate that and know what action to take. I think it's going to be real good. We also give them some information that we'll be taking back to the teachers. That it's one of those things. If you see something, you hear something, say something, tell somebody. So the teachers will be learning this or getting this information. Stuff we've been doing, but it was good to have some more information on it, and then we'll also be sharing that with the students. So it's just one of those things. It's a sad thing we have to worry about, but it's one of those things that is all those, and they talked about in that training, all those, majority of those shooters said, I wish someone would have stopped me, wish someone would have said something. And the high majority of those had told somebody, someone that knew something. So if someone will say something, it'll stop them. Okay. Then the next thing, Derek Sarton pulled in yesterday with his crawler loader and started clearing off there north of the well house to clear that off, and he'll working on the baseball field to take the topsoil off there and take the clay from over there. You're gonna dig a hole and put it on there and put dirt on that to try to raise it up and help our baseball field not be a pond. So we got that started. And he's again doing that on his own.
Yeah, we need to thank him in some way. I don't know what that means, but somehow.
Can we pay for his fuel?
I told him just go to the bus barn.
He's willing to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I've got.
Thanks, Rusty.
Yeah.
Wonder who'd be the last one?
Always. MAP and EOC scores have been released to districts throughout the state. Those came out on the 26th or 7th, I can't remember which day it was. So we're in the process of compiling and drilling all that data down. That's under public embargo until January 7th, so that will not be disseminated to the public until January the 7th. Overall, after looking at it, some were up, some were down. Overall, throughout the entire state, the scores were down after they redid the cut scores and with the new assessment test. The scores overall were down. Some of ours were pleasantly surprising. Others were down a little bit. But we're going to be looking at that, trying to figure out what we need to do and what actions we need to take to make sure we increase those. The teachers have been given their scores from last year, so if you taught 5th grade last year, you got the kids that you had last year. But then they were also given the kids scores from 4th grade last year, so they now know what their current kids scored last year, so they can make any necessary adjustments, and see where their cut scores were. And if you were like a point away, maybe give them a little extra push that way, so maybe we can encourage them to go up. For those of you that have kids, your kids' student reports, those are going to be handed out on December the 12th. That's right before they go home. And so probably on the 11th, I'll do an all-call home so you can know that they're coming home. So if you have a high school kid, ask them for it, because it's probably going to turn into a paper airplane or something. Exactly. No, maybe junior high. They're probably a little bit better, but not much.
No, probably not.
Elementary, they're going to show you the envelope. So those will be going home on the 12th. Just this past Monday, we had PD Day, and we had America Klinkenbeard come down. I know, that's pretty cool. And I said it right, too. America Klinkenbeard came down, and she did a PD for us regarding migrant students, ELL learners, and uses of academic vocabulary. And if you would have taken out the migrant and the ELL stuff, and it was still some great stuff that she gave to all the teachers of being able to use academic vocabulary and how to increase the use of that in their classroom. So they did a good job with all that. I will point out Miss Biddle here. She came up with an excellent idea that I had the teachers do. On our PD days, we were doing PD, and we were calling it also positive declarations. And so the teacher started the process of sending some positive notes home to parents. Some of you may have gotten something, I don't know yet, but I've heard some good things from teachers on responses back based on just stuff that they said to parents that may not have normally heard something positive about their child. And so I think that helps build relationships. And if I'm going to ask you to do math, I think if you like me, you're gonna tend to wanna do it for me, so I think that's gonna be a good thing, so that's what we've had.
On the scores, do you see anything that caused you lots of grief or?
I mean, anytime I think that we're not above the state average, it causes me grief. That's probably not a fair thing, but I think we need to look a little bit more at our ELA. Those were down a little bit more than I would like. Our math were up a little bit more. I don't know if that was a concentrated effort for the past year, but our ELA was down a little bit, so I think that's something we probably just need to look at together.
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, let's do 4-day school week. What is the?
Vote on it?
We need to vote on it. So it is the pleasure of the group that we.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we have a 4-day school week next year, although, any discussion?
We haven't had any complaints or anything, right?
Well,
No, I gave you all the, we have,
Right.
actually,
Okay.
it's gonna be, it's not just for next year, it's. gonna
Right,
be-
it's
Okay,
continued.
sorry,
Yes.
excuse me. It has been moved that we have a 4-day school week.
Indefinitely.
just continue.
Continue. Okay, sorry about that, thank you for that. Any other discussion?
Is this to your vote, or is it just now? From now on?
This is-
Consecutively,
The first time it was,
Yeah.
but it's not now.
consecutively.
Unless, right.
Everybody? Everybody good? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you, 7-0. We will have 4-day school
I
week.
know they want to hear that, dude.
so what I'll do is, next week I'll get the two, 4-day school week calendars
Mhm.
proposed for next year. I'll get that sent out to to our staff to vote on when they come back from, Christmas, and then at the next board meeting, we'll be able to present you with,
Now, that went through the TAB committee, or it
It-
did not?
it then we'll go through the tab committee, but what I'll do is I'll create it and then send it out to
Are you
everybody.
going to send it to us as well, so we can do
Sure.
that?
Yeah.
Suppose it goes like that.
Probably won't much different, will it?
No,
Okay. All right.
tweak a couple things, see if you
Well-
like, but, I mean, this year's been overly, very, the one we had this year has been very, very popular. A couple of hiccups, but for the most part, people have really enjoyed it, so. I've heard a lot of.
Yeah, I've heard good things. Okay, how about an audit report? Do we need to say anything about that before we vote? You have it, you have the report. Is there anything that causes you any concern, anybody?
We
The
haven't
notes-
seen it, so tonight.
the notes
Is there
in front?
anything that we need to, you bring out?
Nope.
Anything different than we've had in the past? Since we just got it, I haven't looked at it.
We have they always recommend that we separate some duties, but we don't have enough people to do that, so that's always one of the things, and they just do that because that's what's recommended. And
The audit.
Okay, the actual,
it was one other thing, but I don't recall, because it didn't
oh, gotcha.
cause me any consternation. Do you know what it was? But it was
The
minor.
professional development thing? I mean, that's
Yeah,
not-
that's what it was,
The
professional
PD.
development. We underspent professional development last year, so, Mr. Charlton gets a few extra $1,000 to spend this year than last year.
And he's gotta spend that by when?
No, there's no,
Okay.
No, I read it, and it's really.
I know,
Yeah, we're
I
supposed
just didn't know if it
our
was.
1%'s about
But they have to
61,000,
put something.
and we did spend 61,000 last year. So, this year we should be able to spend 61,000 plus a few more thousand. The whole point is we don't wanna keep that on the books. We could keep it there forever.
I know,
And then
but-
it would just show up on the audit that we need to spend it, but we don't wanna underspend every year and then end up with a big surplus there, because the only place you can spend it,
Is PD.
PD, so.
We probably need to get a motion, it's an action item, so we'll discuss after.
That's what I was wondering. So if we'll do this in the right way, how about, is there a motion that we approve the audit? It is moved, is there a second? A second. It is moved and seconded that we approve the audit. Now, let's talk about it. Any discussion? I know we haven't had a chance to read it, but with the things he told us,
Well, with the highlights already
You'll give
given
us
to
just a few
us.
minutes on it, I think.
so are we gonna put all of the PD money, all of the over that we spent back and use that, or what? What is the plan for the PD money?
The plan, it's about almost $15,000
Okay.
surplus that we could use. We don't wanna go too far out of the budget
Right.
and deficit spend there, so, I mean, it all depends. We have to spend at least, I think we planned about 7,000-8,000 of it to make sure we spend at least 7,000-8,000 of it.
And will that make them happy as far as?
What we'll do is we'll overspend this year, so we'll spend 61 plus another 7,000-8,000,
Okay.
and then that'll leave us about 6,000 to spend next year,
Okay.
over. So
And is there anything new planned? I mean.
Couple of things. One is, I've talked with the PD committee, and one of the things we're looking at is a virtual professional library for teachers. This is digital, and if we purchase this, we can purchase these blocks of books that are digital books. And so if a teacher says, you know, I'm having trouble with, you know, ELL students or, you know, anything like that, they can actually type that in and it will give them the different book titles highlighted with different things, because you don't want to read an entire book, so it will give you the abstracts of all of them. And once we purchase that, so let's say that costs us $300. Well, that $300 buys like 29 titles of books of different things. And so, and we have those forever in perpetuity.
And how will the teachers be able to access that?
They're given, they can do it as an app, they have that as well, and then we can also put it on the website so they can access it whenever they want. And then they will just have a username, password to type it in. So, that's one of the things.
Do we still use Mornet?
No,
It's gone away,
that's gone away.
Okay.
I was thinking there was something about that.
And then the next thing we can do too is, you know, when we start getting more of our data back on our MAP scores, is maybe getting the teachers in here to collaborate together, getting them some subs so they can come in here and start breaking some stuff down. We can really start doing that when we get our item analysis on the questions and everything.
And that was one of the plans, to take all the, you know, eventually get to the kindergarten, first and second teachers, but start with the third grade teachers and plan a day for them to come in and break down everything on the test scores and be able to do that, and hire a sub for them for a day, come in and have them do a whole bunch, get a good solid 7.5 hours.
We talked about that once?
It was preparing for something else though.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that extra money can go towards.
Okay, questions?
And our bond is just continually goes down each year, and it does.
It'll fluctuate.
Okay.
It'll go up, this year it's a little over right at 300,000. Our biggest one is, what, 6, 7, 8 years from now, where it's 370,000, 380,000, somewhere in there.
And
But we'll prepare for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did we get this? When did you get
This week,
this?
yeah.
Wow.
So there, when's the next time we'd be eligible for a no tax increase bond issue?
We're eligible now.
It's the math then.
How much?
1.4 million.
So what kind of time frame are we looking at waiting?
We don't have any major needs at this exact moment. I think
Right,
we wait until we
Yeah,
have a,
I think we need to have a plan,
Yeah,
because
I
you
know.
know something's gonna come up. I mean,
right.
Well, I think we're just getting an idea.
I just wanna know.
It's 1.4, 1.6, I'd have to go look. It's about $1.5 million right now.
Cause it seems like that's the only thing that we can get passed.
Yeah.
You know, so when we need it, when we have.
and that
a
takes
need,
work to get that.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, and I think one of the things we want to do is, in my opinion, you can all change, but as long as we don't have any major needs, we wait until we have, get a little bit bigger, be able to ask for a little bit more, and no tax increase, nothing changes, we just extend it a little bit. And that, they'll give us a little bit more time and get a little more equity in it, so we can do it have a little bit more funding to have to do something bigger. Does that make sense? Because if we wait three years, then it should be 2.5, almost $3 million.
Questions, thoughts, anybody? Going once, going twice. All those in favor of approving the audit, please raise your right hand. Thank you. Motion passes. It is approved. Bus lease with Southwest Missouri Bank.
Yep. We'll lease those 2 buses with Southwest Missouri Bank. Their fee is $100, and then their, I can't remember what there's another $5. So it'll be a grand total of $174,825. We will, after we get approval tonight, I'll talk to the Bluebird bus tomorrow and tell them we want to do it, and then as soon as we take hold of it, we will, let Southwest Missouri Bank make the payment, and we won't have a payment until July.
When will we
Wait
actually-
90 days, she'll get the buses in 90 days.
So we will have the buses for 2 months without having to make a payment.
Yeah. Still pay interest on that.
Well, I know. And how big were these again?
77.
77.
We need a motion
Yeah.
to lease these and purchase.
Yeah.
Use the bus lease to Southwest Missouri.
Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
And is there a second to lease 2 buses?
Second.
Okay. Is it properly moved and seconded?
Uh,
Is there any discussion? Further discussion,
What's
excuse
the
me.
total cost of that when we get done?
Total cost, it's gonna be, I didn't write that down, like 192, 195, 195,000.
For the two of them together?
Yeah, it's 4% interest. Yeah.
Very, very good.
That's better than, that's the best we can find.
Yeah, that's why we're going with them instead of someone else on our traditional.
His rates actually went up, right?
Yeah, that's what, the first time we got it was 3.5, and then it went to 4.5. And that's some, Southwest Florida Bank said they would hold that 4% for us.
Okay. That's not bad.
No, that's really good.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Okay, no further discussion. It has been moved and seconded. All in favor, raise your right hand. 7-0, thank you. Motion is approved. All right, bus driver insurance. And I don't know who needs to start this discussion, but I think it's something we need to do, we need to look at. We discussed this a little bit earlier on, so.
Really, what we did was we contacted Met and our insurance provider and talked to them about it. One of the things that, in our Met plan, we are not able to, unless they're a full-time employee, we're not able to offer that to them.